poop... Look, poop gets a bad press, okay? It's stinky. It's a waste product. If aliens came down to Earth right now and looked at us, all they would see is a species of beings constantly producing this solid brown substance on a daily basis en masse. They must be looking at us like, wow, this stuff must be really valuable and really useful. And they'd be right. Being embarrassed to talk about poop is like being embarrassed to talk about breathing or watching anime. I mean, everybody does it. Today, I'm gonna pull back the curtain and remove the facade of misinformation about our little golden brown nuggets, so that by the end of this video, the next time when you're about to flush, you're gonna take a second to just pause and reflect and try to understand the amazing story that your little food baby is desperately trying to tell you. Did you know there's an actual official chart and medically approved way of classifying your poop? I know, poop classification. One of the many amazing perks of being a doctor. Allow me to introduce you all to the fabled Bristol stool chart. Now, I'm not going to bring it up here because in YouTube's community guidelines, they specifically state that I am not allowed to show pictures of actual poop. So in order to get through this together, open up another tab, Google Bristol stool chart, and let's go through it. Type 1. Do you have pebbles in your bum? Because it sure looks like it if you're producing this kind of stuff from your rectum. Producing poopy pebbles are a sign of constipation, and if this keeps up, you're going to be at an increased risk of piles or hemorrhoids, which are prolapsed blood vessels that can sometimes bleed and be very painful, and that's really not a nice thing to go through. They usually occur after an episode of really intense straining, so if you're having this type of poop, make sure to increase the fiber in your diet, drink more water, and if all else fails, try a laxative.
I hope you're not using the toilet, it's broken.
Huh?
Type 2. Huh. So you're still struggling to poo. You think you've made a lot of progress from last week, but all that's really happened is that now your chocolate rocks have taken on the appearance of a less than masterful mosaic. It's trying really hard to be different, but not really getting that much success out of it, so same advice as before. Type 3. Imagine bark on a tree. You're getting there. You've eaten 10 bananas this week and it's really starting to show. You're only one step away from the perfect deuce, but you know what? A silver medal is still something to be proud of. So keep doing what you're doing, and before you know it, you'll be well on your way to the perfect gut health. Type 4. You're having zero problems with your back door. All it takes is a morning coffee and you're good to go. Like clockwork, every single day. You barely even have enough time to check Instagram for the 72nd time because your bowel movements are done and dusted so efficiently. When you look down, that mud snake instantly puts a smile on your face. Type 5. If butts had gears, yours would most definitely be in drive. To be honest, things are starting to move a little too quickly for your liking, and things are quite literally starting to fall apart. Imagine uncooked dough, but brown. Type 6. Things are starting to get a little too slick. Your poops are losing grip on their identity, and they're starting to try to mimic the water that they're taking their final plunge into. If things don't get any better anytime soon, you're gonna have to start thinking about taking action. And finally, Type 7. The inside of your toilet bowl now has a lot in common with the cliffs of Devon, constantly being lashed with liquid 24/7. Oh. You may have other symptoms at this time, fever, cramps. If things don't settle down in a couple of days, it's time to give someone like me a call, a poop expert, a philosopher of feces, if you will. Pooping like this for too long can lead to dehydration, malnutrition, weight loss, and again, those red marks on your knees that you might even be making right now as you're watching this video. Don't lie. Leave a comment. Most of the time, brown waterfalls are caused by mild infective gastroenteritis, and they usually resolve by themselves without any complications. But if things go on for more than a week, you really should get in touch with someone like me, because it could be a sign of something else, perhaps inflammatory bowel disease, or even some cancers. The important thing to remember is don't stress yourself out too much. Just send your doctor, someone like me, a nice little brown package, and we'll take a look at things and we can work it out together. The reality is you can tell a lot about someone's gut health and their health in general just from taking a look at their poop. And everybody should get into the habit of doing it at least every few days. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Ghoulies. They'll get you in the end.
There are a couple of other things to look out for in your poop, more specifically, that may indicate you need to see a doctor. I'm just going to run through them quickly in this conclusion. Number 1, blood in your poop. It can either be coating the outside or mixed in. Imagine strawberries mashed with dried figs. If you're noticing fresh blood and you've got those poopy pebbles of the type 1 variety, it could be down to hemorrhoids, so get that checked out. If the blood's coming from somewhere higher up, like in your stomach area, sometimes it can look a bit different by the time it reaches your back door. In this case, it can sometimes look like ground coffee, a kind of black, tarry, dark, really smelly stuff. So if you have that, it's pretty obvious when you do, and make sure you see your doctor ASAP, because that could mean that there's an ongoing bleed in your stomach, which needs to get sorted out quick. Another thing to look out for is mucus in your stools. I know sticky poops doesn't sound like the most amazing thing, but if it happens, it happens. Sometimes it can appear with or without blood. Again, it can be a sign of multiple things, but if you're worried, best to get it checked out. Another thing to look out for is a change in your bowel habit. If you've been smooth sailing at a type 4 for weeks, for months, no issues, and then all of a sudden you're hitting those 6s, you're hitting those 7s, and it keeps going, it don't stop. Get it looked at. And last but not least, if you find that you're losing weight unintentionally, so over the period of a few weeks or months, you're dropping those pounds, you're dropping those kilos, if you're not an American, unintentional weight loss, come see me. And that's it. That's enough poop knowledge for one day, I think. Make sure to leave a solid like, guys, and subscribe. 87% of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? It's free. It takes like a second. You can always change your mind later if you want to. Please don't. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you want to see more from me, check these other videos out, or catch me on Twitch at Dr. Mim. I stream throughout the week. We play games, we talk medical stuff, we talk nonsense. All around, we have a great time. So I'll see you there. Have a great week, and happy pooping. Peace.